Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Under Further Review with me, Noel Granada. In these segments, I'll be giving you a quick look at each team going into the 2013 season. I'll be talking last season, off-season, draft, player positions, and can they make the playoffs. Today on my board, I have the Super Bowl champs, Baltimore Ravens. Let's quickly look at what happened last year. So they went 14-6. They beat San Francisco in the Super Bowl. Joe Flacco proves to me that he's an elite QB and the man now. And Ray Lewis calls it a career going out on top after spending his entire career in Baltimore for 17 years. And the offense ranked 16th and the defense finished 17th. The offseason. Well, the question going for the fans this year is, can they do it again? Well, they're going to have to do it without Anquan Boldin, Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, Paul Kruger, Daniel Ellerbe, Bernard Pollard, Kerry Williams. The list goes on and on and on and on and on. I did like the moves in the free agency, though, where they picked up Elvis Dumervil along with Chris Canty, safety Michael Huff, and linebacker Rolando McClain, but I think he's gone now. So the other big move they did was sign Flacco to a massive $120.6 million contract with a $29 million signing bonus. Holy guacamole. I mean, this guy deserves it, obviously, after winning the Super Bowl the way he did. He will be the QB for the years to come. And obviously the biggest blow I think that happened this offseason is Dennis Pitta is out of the season this year with the dislocated hip. Pitta was the key factor for the Ravens offense last year as he racked up 61 catches for 669 yards along with 7 touchdowns. So this team is trying to patch things up and hope for the best, trying to defend their title as they get young and fast. It will be really interesting how the Ravens respond this year. Now, my favorite picks from the draft. Now, I wasn't too excited for the Ravens' first-round pick and safety Matt Elam, but he was in need and was the best player available and probably the best safety. I did like, however, second-round pick inside linebacker from Kansas State, Arthur Brown, who seemed to be the best inside linebacker in the draft. So this guy has steel written all over him and was a perfect fit, I thought, for the Ravens. He should start immediately. I also really like third-rounder defensive tackle Brandon Williams, who was from Missouri Southern. This guy is just a big man that can rip it up and dominate, but he's only fit for the inside. He can also be a leader, so I can see him sharing time with Haloti Ngata this season. Ravens, honestly, had just a tremendous, awesome draft, so positive sign. Positions. Quarterback. Well, Joe Flacco threw for 3,817 yards and 22 touchdowns last year and played well enough in the playoffs to help lead his team to a Super Bowl. I'm eager to see what the chemistry will be like this year since his top 2 receivers are gone. All that's left for him is Torrey Smith and Jacoby Jones to throw to. So he's going to have to step up even more this year and put the team on his shoulders even more. Running backs. Ray Rice is the man. He's tough, catch the passes in the backfield and just anywhere, and be used as a receiver. He's probably the most versatile player in the league. So he ran last year for 1,143 yards and 9 touchdowns last season, and I expect him to even put bigger numbers up again this season. He also is being complemented by Bernard Pierce and Vontae Leach. This backfield is just dangerous. Wideouts. Torrey Smith will have to step up and change his game to be the number 1 receiver this year. He plays a vertical threat, which is what he's most known for, but will need to change that now that Bolden's gone. Jacoby Jones should be back ready to be even making bigger plays this year like he did last year and in the postseason. I like him a lot. Dennis Pitta is out for the year and the whole season with a dislocated hip, and that means Ed Dixon needs to step up this year. Pitta was a go-to guy for Flacco, so Dixon has to fill in his shoes to be that guy. Offensive line. The Ravens go into this year with a pretty decent O-line. Bryant McKinney will be at left tackle, and Gino Gradkowski will replace Matt Burke at center. Marshall Yanda, Michael O'Hare, and Kelechi Osemele, I'm saying that right, Osemele, make this line great and expect another solid year from this line, who only gave up a surprising 6 sacks last year. Defensive line. Haloti Ngata, should be coming back strong, hopefully, with his injury last year. And when this guy's healthy, look out. Along with Chris Canty and Terrence Cody and Marcus Spears, this line looks very dangerous and deadly once again. Linebackers. Well, to me, I think this will be the most interesting part of the defense this year as the Ravens begin the post-Ray Lewis era. As the Ravens drafted Arthur Brown, he will be looked to replace Lewis at the middle linebacker spot. But honestly, one cannot expect to have him come in and play like Lewis did and have the effects of leadership and all the things that came with Ray Lewis. So Terrell Suggs was just covered. Terrell Suggs was just covered in injuries last year with a torn Achilles tendon to a torn bicep. So he should hopefully be back healthy and ready to go. Hopefully the rest is up to Jameel McLean, Darryl Smith, Josh Bynes, and Elvis Dummerville to fill in spots in the training camp. We'll see if this works out this year. The Ravens could be in a whole lot of hurt as I see the defense feeding off the good linebacker play for most of each season. So it's going to be the make it or break it part of the defense. Secondary. Reed, Pollard, and Williams need to be replaced this season, and we're huge contributors on the team. Michael Huff is coming from the Raiders, who just signed probably to take over Reed's spot at safety, so we'll probably be playing alongside draft pick Matt Elam at strong safety. Jimmy Smith and Corey Graham will be back at corner spots, but they really need to have one guy on the field, and that's Ladarius Webb, who's coming back from a nasty ACL. I think he tore it. He's the best in the league at shutting down people, so he's going to be really, really much needed this year as the defense will just cripple without Webb. Special teams. Justin Tucker was fantastic last year as he just connected with 30 field goals out of 33. He should be fine this year, and punter Sam Kosh remains to kick consistent with his ball placement and distance. And Jones really, really showed up on special teams for the Ravens last year. Let's see if he can add more kickoff returns this year. And they make the playoffs. I'm going to say no. No, they don't make the playoffs this year, and here's why. First, you just gutted all your players that finished the season ranked 17th in the league on defense. And they were important players nonetheless. I love the acquisitions that they got in free agency and in the draft, but come on. Do you expect to see the same defense, especially without leader Ray Lewis on the field? I'm sure I think they'll be a bit faster, but the key on defense is for Suggs, Nada, and Webb to be healthy too. And just a safe bet, one of those guys will probably go down again. I think this defense will need to recuperate this year and get a certain chemistry going. Also on offense, there is a gigantic void at the receiver position. Pitta is out, and Bolden is gone, which gave them a big, clutch physical reception when they needed most time after time. Who will step up on the offense for Flacco this year? Who's Flacco going to be throwing the ball to? Jones is the oldest vet on the receiving corps, so this means there's a lot of young guys that are unproven that will need to help and step up. And I just can't see that happening yet. I don't know. Maybe it will, but it's going to be interesting to see how Torrey Smith responds as the number one guy. I mean, come on. Ravens fans shouldn't expect anything after a 5-year run that is consisted of 5 years of playoffs straight, 3 AFC title championship games, and a Super Bowl win. That's more success than any team's experienced over decades. But that success has generated a faith in the organization's ability to put a contender on the field. So there's excitement about what could happen in 2013, obviously. The expectations come with that excitement. And boy, do I hate expectations. Expectations only set you up for disappointments, I believe. Trust me, I did it when the Packers went 15-1, thinking they would just glide through the playoffs with a Super Bowl victory. Wrong. I was just thinking that the Ravens could be thinking that this year. So I'm looking at this from the bright side. The Ravens will have a setback this year, and that makes them miss the playoffs. And with that, my football fans, ends my segment on the Baltimore Ravens. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave any comments and subscribe to my page. The next team I will be taking on will be the Cincinnati Bengals. See you later, folks.